What is up, everybody? Welcome to Rev Time. Now I know there's not a snowball's chance I'll ever be able to get Eddie's tone. The tone that he got was just amazing. You could hand me his guitar, his amp, the Variac, the Echoplex, the room reverb that was happening, put me in the same studio with the same mics, and I wouldn't sound anything like Eddie. But I do really dig that song. It's one of my favorite just rhythm tracks. And I thought, it might be fun to take a swing at it and see how it sounds using the new Mark III, the Generator 120. So let's get right into it. I ended up using channel 3. Felt and sounded the best to me. I think channel 4 could have been fine as well, but there was something about channel 3. It backed off well. It was touch sensitive and sounded cool. So what I ended up doing is I actually used the red aggression mode. Now the misunderstanding about, it's not a misunderstanding, but I think it should be looked at in a little bit different way than just different like gain settings. Because you can see I've actually got the gain down a little bit. The reason I arrived at using the red aggression mode is if I turn that off, it still sounds great. I mean, this is a good tone. But the top end's a little different now. And I would like it to be a little more saturated. The blue mode kind of had the wrong mid characteristic for me. And still not quite the top end. But when I went to the red mode, that's when it had that really cool, that top end, but not too much mids, but there was a mid presence there. So I wasn't really going for so much the highest aggression mode as much as I just thought that sounded great. Just in its overall kind of EQ characteristics. Now I also used the bright switch, so I'll shut that off. And that sounds great. It was a little too dark, and I found that the bright switch just gave me that top end I wanted. Now the cut switch, I used that. Here, I'll shut it off. Because that sounded great, but I did want the mids to kind of come back a little bit. And the cut switch basically tightens up the low end and then creates the mid presence. So that's how I arrived, using that channel. I just thought it sounded great. Okay, now you're obviously hearing a bunch of reverb and delay. Now the reason that's on to the degree that it is that's exactly how I used it for the track. And if you listen to the original Eddie cut, it sounds like the guitar is maybe a little bit over here, and then there's reverb over here. Now you're not hearing it that way now. I've just got the reverb and delay centered, but that's how I actually recorded it. And that's what I was going for. And it's absolutely part of the sound. I can go ahead and show you. I'm using the Echo Boy for like a plexi, reverb, I should say Echoplex reverb. And I'm using it's called the little plate. It's a pretty cool just kind of plate reverb. That's what I'm using for the reverb, and I'm running them both together. I can go ahead and mute both of these. So there's the tone. I'll turn on just the Echoplex. That's the Echoplex, and then here's what the little plate is doing. So if you go back and listen to the track, you'll hear on one side you're going to hear, the guitar's going to be pushed over just a little bit, and then on the other side you're going to hear the reverb and the delays with the guitar on the other side. So when they're both on, Now, cabinet. I am running direct using the torpedo embedded, which is basically Captor X is really what's in the amp in stereo. I am running just one side out, the mono left side out. So you can see I'm just using the Revv 4x12 with a 57 and a Royer, and you can see that I've got the 57 and the Royer pretty much equal, and nothing's off axis or backed away from the cab. Everything's pretty straight up. So that's how I got the sound. You know, it's kind of to each his own as to, you know, how close I got. I wasn't really trying to match it as much as I was just trying to get that same kind of vibe and feel. And I felt like Channel 3 on the Mark III was pretty much nailing it. And then the rest of it was just a mass rude awakening, trying to even play anything like Eddie played, and that swagger and that feel that he had. It's just wow. But anyways, I just thought this would be a fun video. I've always, like I said, dug that song, and as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've got any questions, please comment below. If you've got ideas for things that you would like for me to show you, definitely comment below. I always read the comments. I try to answer as many as I can, so you know, feel free to comment away. And as I said, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.